How's it going, everyone? We're here to check out the top skins this week. And yeah, for anyone that's new, these are the skins that are the best skins in the workout this week that meet the requirements and so forth. And yeah, that is also partly just my personal opinion. So keep that in mind. That does not mean any of these skins will necessarily make it. Only 8 are chosen every week, so tune back in on Thursdays to see which ones actually make it. So let's jump into it, guys. First up, we've got a bandana for you, and this is the Lone Wolf bandana by Croft. And yeah, this one is actually made to go along with the Vulture poncho, actually, and it has, you know, the wolf theme. So this isn't a YouTuber skin or anything like that. It's just, you know, something he made to continue with it since it was originally just a generic skin. So, yeah, one way or another, definitely very cool. I can see a lot of people loving this bandana for many reasons. Next up, it looks like we've got a continuation in the Atomic set by Slime. We've got the Atomic hoodie and pants. And yeah, these have like various little elements to it, like there's some armored pads on the knee. Then you've got a different type of like fabric on the top here. The shirt's kind of split. And then you've also got like a tube thing going along into the back. And then there's like a kind of like almost a cape or like a loose piece of cloth on the back of the pants and the hoodie there, which I thought was a really cool design. And yeah, this does not glow. It is just a very bright set. So you won't be glowing bright green at night. Next, we've got continuation in the Freedom set. We've got the Freedom hoodie and pants. And yeah, these have a little bit of an armored up look as well. You can see some kind of like pads on the shoulder. Then you've got this cool little like barbed wire design on the undershirt. And yeah, you've got the various other things from the set. You've got Freedom written out on the leg right there, you can see. And yeah, various designs, X's, and some lines over here. And just kind of everything you would expect. Again, this is something that does look like it would glow. It does not. So yeah, there you have it. Definitely a nice addition to the set. Next up, we've got quite the jumpsuit for you. This is the Tiger set. And well, yeah, if you ever wanted to look like a shiny tiger print person, now you can. Well, maybe if the set makes it in, I should say. But yeah, definitely a very bright and shiny, glossy looking set here. Very crazy. I can see a lot of people loving to rock this in the crazy world of Rust. Next up, we've got another set for you. This is the Rust Vibes set by Retro. And yeah, it's got lots of rusty vibes going on. And by that, you have to kind of look in there. See, look, there's a Rust car with some high qual guys peeking out. You've got the Rust logo. You've got some biohazard piece, the hot air balloon. I mean, there's a APC. There's so much going on down here. All over this thing. It's definitely a cool, colorful, blah, I can't talk, tribute to Rust. There's the Chinook. Yeah, there's just really cool looking. Awesome design. Next up, we've got the Shattered Mirror hoodie and pants, and if you ever wanted to try to blind your enemies to keep them from hitting you, this may be the set for you. You can be all sorts of extra shiny. And then underneath, you've got this very comfy looking, almost like a space under like shirt pants thing going on. I imagine it's almost a onesie under there. It looks very comfy, but very, very shiny. Very cool and very unique, just like the rest of the set. Next up, we've got a continuation in the Rainbow Pony set with the leather gloves and boots. So the leather gloves have this cute little cloud over here, pooping a rainbow. And then on the inside, there's a very angry cloud hidden away there. So that's definitely a cute little design. And then down here in the bottom, you got the ponies and the rainbows, and it's vomiting up a rainbow right onto the tips of the boots. And yeah, the whole thing's just memey and great, and you gotta love it. Next up, we've got the porcelain boots. And yeah, that was something you would think would be a very hard thing to kind of translate. You can't really make boots out of porcelain, but he did kind of like a steel toe thing, and I think that turned out really well. So instead of a steel toe, you've got a porcelain toe and heel, and I think that's really nice. And then we've got this very nice turquoise cloth in between. There's two different shades of it, kind of the darker color with the gold highlights, and I think artistically this showed up really well. Then, of course, you've got the little bone digits coming through there. and in the back you can see the heels. So very, very creative. I think it was well done. Lastly, we've only got one set of armor for you this week. It is the Desert Raiders set, and yeah, this one is set up straight to help you, camo yourself in the new HDRP Desert. All those great colors with it. That nice kind of digital camo up here in the front. We've got a cool little logo, and then on the back, there we go. We've got some nice design plates. Up here, we've got the logo again. It says Desert Raiders with a barcode, and we've got lots of cool little straps that all interconnect the different pieces. A lot of detail went into the sculpting of this, you can tell, and it is a very, very nice set. Alright, next up we've got our deployables, starting out with some sleeping bags. So we've got this one right here. This is the sleeping bag Firestar, and yeah, as you can see, there's a star with boots on, and he's trying to run again across fire, and looks like he's not doing too well. And then you've got this really goofy looking pillow. The whole thing is definitely very, very cool. I love the vibe of it here. Next, we've got another sleeping bag for you. This one is a remake of a sleeping bag, and it is now called the Toxic Inferno sleeping bag. It has this kind of cool green glow instead of the purple it used to have. And you can also see there's some added kind of like radiation symbols in some of the eyes there. And a few of them even have, or it looks like one has a clover, a spade. Yeah, there's a few extra little hidden things, and there's some heart eyes down here at the bottom. Definitely a very cool looking sleeping bag. And of course, the glow is going to be the highlight, which we will show you here in the end. Next, we've got a couple furnaces for you, starting out with this one right here, which is made to look like a termite mound. Therefore, it is the termite mound furnace. And yeah, you can see all the little holes there for where the termites would come and check you out, and where the monkeys would stick the little, pieces of sticks to pull termites out. So there you go. Maybe we can stick some sticks in there and get food. Nah, you can't get food from your furnace. But we're another very unique design. Next, over here, we've got another furnace for you. This one is the Meltdown Furnace. So it says entrance up there, and then on the top, it literally looks like it is starting to melt and drip down the side. And it's got a nice shiny metal finish to the rest of it there with some plating. And definitely a cool looking furnace. Next, we've got a kind of junky looking furnace for you. This is the Pit Stop Furnace, and the whole thing is made out of junk that you'd probably find in the junkyard. It's made they got a big old tire around the bottom with a chain, then it's got some rubber wrapped around it, and then lots of kind of like steel around the edges there to, make sure that the rubber doesn't get, directly hit with the fire there. And then if you look at the top, you've got some air fresheners on the top of the tire there, help with that smoke smell, I guess. Definitely some nice creativity put into this one here. Next, we've got another furnace for you. This one over here is a little alien guy hanging out for you. This is the Alien Furnace. And yeah, it's got this really cool galaxy thing that goes on. And then the rest of it looks kind of like it's made out of a meteor. I think that's a really cool design for sure. Definitely a neat looking furnace. Next, we've got one last furnace for you. This one is the Golden Age Furnace. And yeah, man, this whole thing kind of reminds me of like the Lord of the Rings, how the ring lights up. It's got that same kind of idea of the glow going on there. And it's got this really cool glowing design on the bottom, and it even has kind of a bit of a design on the inside. So yeah, this thing is definitely very, very cool looking furnace. Next over here, we got a little box for you. This is the Tribal Ornament box. And yeah, you can see it definitely has a very tribal feel to it. Lots of little carvings gone into it. It looks like it's quite a delicate design of a box, and definitely makes it very unique and stand out. And it has, some color to it, but it's like a subtle gradient. I think that kind of adds to it quite nicely. Next, we've got a new piece in the Evolve set. It looks like we've got the Evolve small box. And yeah, this one's got the same kind of thing. It's a kind of, beat up old wood. It's got some, a little graffiti or drawings on it. We've got that caution tape around, and then the whole thing is kind of overgrown. And then you've got the skull with this kind of like pinned on paper with the rad symbols there going on. And of course, it does have a glow, which we'll be sure to show you guys here shortly. Last for our small boxes, we've got the Silver Leaf storage box, and this one's definitely very beautiful and elegant. It's got some nice wood with some beautiful metal edges that have that silver leaf pattern to it. Definitely, like I said, a very elegant box. Next, we've got a couple large boxes for you, starting with a continuation in the Neon set by Duck. This is the Neon Food Box. It is number 4 in the set. Top, we've got a little sheet metal pumpkin that's been painted on there and riveted into the top with the sheet metal pieces there. You've got the counter. On the side, you've got the big old neon food in a yellowish kind of golden color. And there we have it, and definitely a nice addition to the set. Over here, we've got another kind of concept, and this is meant to look like a cash box. If you've ever seen any kind of heist movie, or ever somehow been in a reserve or, you know, big part of where the money goes, you would know a cash box is kind of like a clear box with metal edges, and you can see all the money inside, and that's kind of, they're meant to be clear, so you can't really see any kind of shenanigans going on, or you can see shenanigans going on with it. Anyways, I said shenanigans. And there you have it. This is definitely something that's very hard to translate because you're trying to do a lot of 3D stuff with a flat space. I think they did pretty good. Sometimes these turn out, sometimes they don't. It definitely looks a lot better in the rendered images, but for what turned out in the actual in-game, still looks quite nice. Next, we've got one last large box for you. This is the legendary gemstone box by Ideal. And yeah, it just has a very elegant kind of royal look to it. Lots of gold and rubies, I'm assuming, or at least gems we can say. And looks like marble here is the white part, so definitely a very elegant box for sure. Next, we've got a couple doors for you. This one here is going to be a wooden door, and it is the Ghost Skull door by Call Me Tommy. And yeah, you can see it just got this ghost skull. It's kind of a painted door with a little kind of scrappy metal frame around it. If we pass on through to the other side, you can see there is a very ghostly handprint, and yeah, just kind of the same little design going on there. Next, we've got a continuation here. We got the hypnotic steel door, so now we've got a hypnotic double door to go along with that set. So maybe we will see this one pop in. It definitely did quite well, so I could see a lot of people wanting to grab this one for sure. Next, we've got a couple garage doors for you, starting with this one, 404 garage door by Hatson. And yeah, 404 error, no, this isn't a door, you can't enter, sorry, you can't raid this base. Definitely love the humor behind that. There is a glowing and a non-glowing version, so we will be to that shortly as well. Next, we've got a baller garage door for you, and this is the Street Kings garage door. And yeah, you've got, you know, some stop signs worked in there, who's got the next game, and Street Kings written right out on an old garage door with a broken up basketball hoop. So, you know, there it is. It's attached, and you can even see the springs here added to help it get put back together when the door rolls. And then you've got the little drop down hinged basket. So yeah, definitely some creativity put into that for sure. Lastly, we got an armor door for you, and this one's a very colorful one for sure. This is the Shining Wolf door, and yeah, it's got this really cool rainbow effect and is quite cool looking. We take a little look back here, you can see it in a little bit better light, and yeah, definitely a very neat looking door. I could see this one being popular with everyone who likes the rainbow stuff for sure. Alright, so there's that sleeping bag, guys. Even has a subtle glow around the edges as well, which is quite cool. Then we've got each of our furnaces here. Look at that galaxy, such a cool effect. Very cool. This one, ah, oh, look at that. So nice. And of course, we've got a very kind of like subtle glow to the box, as you can see. And then we'll head on over here. We've got the large food box, of course. Rotate around that one there. And then for our doors, we've got the garage door, And of course, this one has a glow. There you have it. Alright guys, let's jump into the tools and weapons, and we've got a hammer for you here. This is the McRusty hammer. It is obviously a hamburger. Great joke. It has a bit of a cartoony look to it. Now, I'm not sure if the whole McRusty part can stay because it's a little close to McDonald's, but hey, we'll just have to see. You know, that's something that comes into Helk's choice when this makes it in, if it makes it in. And yeah, I like the one little extra addition here. You've got a napkin on the handle in between your hand, just, you know, to help that juice is dropping down on you. Next, we've got a couple rocks, starting out with this one right here, and this is the Frozen Neighbor skull, and yeah, wow, very specific, but also makes so much sense, and as you can even see, there is a nice bullet hole to the dome there. Definitely a creative rock. Now, this does have a glowing and a non-glowing version, so let's go ahead and take a look-see there, and there you can see the glow. Definitely quite the nice addition to the rock there. Next, we've got another rock for you, and this one is so creepy. It's got all sorts of stuff going on, and its name is just perfect to it. It is the Cocoon of Evil. Yup. This whole thing just looks like a big old pus ball with like worms going through it, and that is exactly what it's supposed to be. Those are supposed to be worms, guys, not veins. Just, yeah, there you go. Next, we've got another rock for you. This one is another nice blue color. This is the Gold Veins rock by Anathan. And yeah, it's just got this beautiful blue with some gold veins going through it. And it's a simple idea, but a very beautiful design. Next, we've got one last rock for you. And it looks like someone had a similar idea. This is the Ancient Ice rock. And yeah, in there you can see there is a skull peeking out from the ice. Definitely very cool sculpting done on that. Love how it looks like the skull is really just in there. Last for this group, we've got you a Bone Club, and this one is part of the swag set by Kiva. And yeah, there you go. It is the Swag Bone Club. It is covered in pieces of gold and gemstones, and you know, perfect for a king to bone club someone to death with. Next up, we've got a sword for you. And yeah, this one is quite cool looking. It is the Emerald Bite Sword by Zinc. And yeah, we do already have an Emerald collection, so I don't know... well, we have a Jade collection, sorry. So I don't know if Emerald can have a chance because, you know, green, Jade, Emerald, very close. But we'll just have to see. One way or another is a very cool sword. And, yeah, has that snake on it. Thus the name, you know, Bite, I'm assuming. Definitely very cool. Next, we've got a bow for ya, and it is in the Tempered collection. That's right, guys. We've got the Tempered bow for ya. Go ahead and draw it there. And as you can see with the Tempered set, as you hit different light, you get a little more of one color or the other. Always a very cool effect with that one. Next, we've got some more bows for you, starting with this one. There's a lot of details going on here. We've got some red leather kind of there at the top. Then you've got this kind of like marbled look with various different marble with the different gold tearing through it there in the cracks. Very, very elegant. Go ahead and take a spin around there, you know, see the different light hitting it. And this is the Kitsingu bow. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Next, we've got one more bow for you. This one here is the Primeval Hunting Bow. And yeah, it's a continuation in this set. Very cool carvings to it and parts to the design, as you can see. Go ahead and draw down here, and you can see some more of those kind of tribal markings, as well as an all-seeing eye staring back at you, judging that aim. Next, we've got a crossbow for you, and this is a continuation in the lightweight set by Robstar. And it is the lightweight bow. You can see the little lightweight right there, and the whole thing is a nice kind of chromed out, kind of like a light steel design to it. Go ahead and draw back the crossbow there for you. and take one more look at it there. And you can see also it is, you know, stockless, so to say. Last for this set, we've got one more crossy for you, and it is a continuation in the No Mercy set. Thus, it is called the No Mercy crossbow. We go ahead and draw it back. It's aimed down the sights there. You've got some skulls and wings. Everything you would expect from the set. Very clean and beautiful crossbow. Next up, we've got a DB for you, and this one is meant to look like a hose, so it is thus called the Hose Double Barrel Shotgun. And you can see the front of it there does look like the hose tool that we use in the game, where the hose is connected for our water stuff. Everything's kind of themed after that. You also got the flow and no flow button right there, which is a nice little addition to it. Aiming down the sights, not too much going on. There could have been a little bit more done there. But got a custom little green screwdriver. And there you go. There is the reload. Next, we've got a sap for you, and it is part of the Phantom set. So this is a redesign of the Phantom sap. Has a little more kind of fabric and leather going on with it. A little more details to the design, as you can see. Aiming down the sights, you can see some more leather and gold detail. Some gold tips to the sights. We'll go ahead and pop that reload. And there we go. Next, we've got a Tommy for you, and this one is quite an interesting design. This is the lowride style Thompson, and yeah, the whole thing just has kind of like a lowrider vibe to it. You can see that, yeah, in the designs, there's even a cross on there, and yeah, I'm not sure about that. I know religious depictions usually have to be kind of removed, but yeah, the Mary thing up there might not work out, or the praying girl, whatever you want to call it. Aiming down the sights here, you've got the praying girl again on the side there, and a silver tip. Fire off a few rounds, and pop a reload. There we have it. Next, we've got a remake of a AK for you. This is the Outer Space AK version 2, and as you can see, it's a lot brighter. There's a few more details, breakups to those details, which is quite nice. Aiming down the sights, you've got some very nice red tips to help you get, you know, get that headshot you need. Or, you know, at least it's supposed to help you aim. Go ahead, and there you go. Boom. Next, we've got another AK for you, and this one is the Vulture AK. And yeah, the whole thing is running kind of a one color but cell shaded look to it, so I think that kind of like helps it not look so kind of plain as being one color. You've definitely got this beautifully shaded artwork on there, the vulture on the tree staring down at the cracked white skulls, turning even wider and more brittle in the desert heat. Aim down the sights, you've got some more skulls kind of crammed down in there, and a kind of like a black tip against the white to help you focus. Oop. Next, we've got one last AK for you, and this one is version 2 of the Pixel World AK. And yeah, there's been a lot of updates kind of to the details and so forth. We still got that very cool artwork. You've got the power plant and the dome with a little hazy guy and a balloon flying off in the distance there. Some nice, beautiful clouds that go throughout the AK. Aiming down the sights, you got the little hazy guy staring at you and a bright red tip to help focus in on your kill. Lastly, we've got a couple of more guns for you. Starting out with this M39 here. This is the hot Label M39. And yeah, this one is definitely a glower. It basically just kind of has that hot-tempered look, but a little bit different to it. Aiming down the sights here. Go ahead and pop a reload. But, of course, what everyone wants to see is the glow. There we go. Definitely not the best gun for hiding at night, but very cool glow effect on it. For sure. Next up, we've got a LR for you, and this one is all chromed out, which, of course, it is called the Chromatic Dynasty, therefore. And yeah, it just has this really nice shine to it. You can see it says chromatic dynasty down there, and then on the side up here, when you aim down, you've got some Asian characters and a very bright neon green sight. And yeah, that just goes so nice with the chrome, honestly. It does not glow, of course. Glow sights are not allowed anymore. Definitely a very cool looking LR. Go ahead and pop a reload for you there. Next, we've got another LR for you, and this one is definitely old and beaten up. This is the Golden Shot LR, but it still has that nice kind of regalness to it, even though it definitely looks quite ancient. Aiming down the sights, you've got a golden skull with some adornment, and a kind of crusty, rusty looking golden sight for you to aim at those heads. Next, we've got the one thing everyone has been begging for so much, the Blackout L96. It was inevitable that it would happen, and here it is. So there you go. You've got some details on the side with the Blackout written, and then you've got, you know, that white little spokes around the, is that, what is that anyways? That's big old, I don't know, just some details there. Anyway. Aiming down the sights here, you've got kind of like that carbon weave going on. Go ahead and do a reload. And then, of course, everyone does like to see it with a scope. So there we have the scope for you. Lastly, we've got ourselves a rocket launcher for you. And this one is the Bling Blaster. And yeah, it is literally a gold and platinum rocket launcher. Look at that. It even has a gold and neon sight for you. You gotta love it. And yeah, I can just see all sorts of people loving to rock this one, because they could feel like a pimp when they're raiding someone. Let's go ahead and pop a reload there. And you always like me shooting at the trees, so let's go ahead and hit that one. And wow, okay, it survived a rocket. All right, so we'll get you next time, tree. One way or another, that does it, guys. Sound off down in the comment section below which ones you want to see make it the most. Thanks for watching, and stay rusty out there. We'll see you on Thursday to show you the ones that did make it.